Hello people of the world, Pebbles back. Today's video is going to be a bit different than normal as I wanted to talk about my experience playing Sonic Rumble, a new upcoming Sonic mobile game. SEGA recently had a closed beta test that I luckily got selected for, and they're allowing creators to share footage and talk about the game, so that's what I'll be doing today. I'll go over the gameplay first, and then give my overall thoughts on the game experience. So, let's rumble! Oh, finally my masterpiece is complete. I present to you Egg Toyland! What is it with Eggman and making freaking amusement parks constantly? Oh, is this just a board game? Witness my dangerously glorious creations are gorgeous. Take control of your figure and use your wits to proceed through stages. Okay, the one who collects the most rings is the winner. So, is it like Monopoly? Uh-oh. Easy yet exciting, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you agree? And this is how I'll crush you once and for all. Take this and that. Game over for you. What do you say? Ready to be a pawn in my game, or are you going to turn tail and run? Bruh, Tails is right there. Why would you say that? Jeez, what the heck did he send me? Sounds like Egghead's got too much time to spare. I don't know, they're kinda cute. What are you gonna do, Sonic? What are you gonna do, Sonic? I don't know what Eggman's up to, but I'm not about to back down from a challenge. He really just goes along with anything Eggman does, doesn't he? Alright, I'm game. Let's play and beat him with this toy. That's the plot. That's what we got. So after the intro explains the story, players are dropped into the tutorial, which I think did a really great job of explaining how everything works and the main goal. The controls are pretty simple. Your left hand controls the character's running and directions, similar to most games that use joysticks, and then your right hand has 3 buttons: a jump, an action button or homing attack, and an attack button, which can only be used to attack other players if you collect an attack item. So you won't use this one as often as the other two. Sonic Rumble has often been described as like Fall Guys with Sonic characters, which is pretty close, but there is one key difference. Winning Fall Guys means being the last player standing or first across the finish line. Winning Sonic Rumble means collecting the most rings. Now, finishing races first or surviving different modes can give you more rings depending on where you place, but these are still contributing to the overall goal of collecting the most rings to win. That, combined with typical Sonic gameplay like the double jump and homing attack, and the Sonic stages, make Sonic Rumble unique enough to stand on its own in my opinion. Speaking of stages, the beta had many themed around familiar zones, including Green Hill, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary, Starlight Carnival, and Frozen Factory. With each game, you have to survive 3 rounds of mini-games with stages in these zones. So far, there are 5 gameplay modes: Run, Team, Survival, Competitive Arena, and Side-Scrolling. I believe all of my first rounds were a run stage, which is just a race against other players. Something I found really cool about these were, like many Sonic levels in other games, there were alternate paths that were faster than others. There's also gimmicks that help players in the back catch up, such as having front players guess which wall is breakable or which spring is correct. In Green Hill, for example, there's this area here where falling off is the slower path, but I unfortunately did. And with this being a race, your placement does matter. As you can see in the top right, only the top 16 qualify, but collecting rings throughout the level will benefit you for the further rounds. Once the round ends, everybody who didn't qualify will be eliminated in this cool animation. My favorite gameplay mode was definitely Survival, with one of the stages being the Silent Forest Hunt. Survival games made me feel the most in control over whether I made it, as they were competitive and more skill-based, in my opinion. This one required you to bloom as many red flowers as you could while avoiding the yellow spotlight. As it went on, bombs were placed near the flowers that you could accidentally hit if another player bloomed the flower you were going for faster than you. Grabbers would also appear, and you had to hide in bushes before a countdown ends to avoid them. Now, final rounds will typically be competitive arenas, which is where you'll get to attack other players to steal their rings. For the Lava Mountain Ring Battle, players needed to collect as many rings as they could while avoiding the rising lava. Once at the top, everyone was locked in an arena filled with rings and attack items, with the ultimate winner being the one with the most rings at the end. And that winner was me! But this was technically a bot round, so let's see how I do against real players. And you know they're real because they emote like crazy. Got me fumbling at the end because I wanted another balloon. I should also mention that if you finish early, the game still lets you move around in the finish area and emote with other players. Look at me hanging out with Mr. Zavok. We're best friends now. I'm not gonna lie, I was 100% screaming at this part. But again, one of my favorite games in the beta was a survival one. Now, even though this finale was once again a ring battle, I found such an optimal route that I was literally a pacifist the whole time. Frisk would be so proud. I can be good at games, guys! But okay, now that you've seen what the game's like, what are my thoughts? I absolutely adore this game. The story explanation for why everyone's adorable is so funny, but also in character. And the art style works so well for every single one of them. We have Blaze and Silver here, bro. It's crazy. And although there aren't new zones, I think the ones that they picked are different enough from each other that the stages never felt boring to play through. Plus, the remixes are insanely catchy. I also love that there's just so much to unlock as a reward with your ring. You have a claw machine with free daily prizes that can range from rings to new skins. I somehow didn't get repeats for this the first time, but if you do, the game still gives you 1,000 rings instead. You can buy skins of different characters or different outfits, trail effects, pets, emotes for the waiting screen, in-game, and the winning screen, and stickers! Do you guys know how much I love stickers? I genuinely just loved playing through this. But I barely got to play a full 3 rounds at a time because I ran into so many crashes and softlocks that either kicked me out or made it impossible for me to qualify. This is a beta though, so I'm sure stuff like that will get fixed over time. Something I do hope they improve though is the base speed of the character. For a Sonic game, it felt really slow. I swear there were times I gaslit myself into thinking jumping would make me go slightly faster. An alternate thing they could do is maybe add a temporary boost with a stamina bar. I also personally felt it was difficult to control what direction I was going at times since I'm not used to playing mobile games like this. I really hope controller support gets added over time. Though, what I would love even more is if it came to PC and consoles someday. Just think about it, SEGA. Overall, Sonic Rumble was a really fun experience. There was a good amount of variety to the rounds, and I only hope that more game modes and zones get added when the full thing comes out. Really, more of everything. Characters, music, cutscenes, more. Just add more. One thing I also think would be fun to add is actually character customization, similar to that of Sonic Forces. Since this game already has random models that look like they're from that game, I think it would fit perfectly with the style and open up more possibilities with rewards to unlock. I wonder if Wisp powers could even be added as custom attack items. But that's gonna do it for today. Let me know if you got to play the beta and what your thoughts were, or if this video made you even more hyped to play when it officially comes out. I don't typically do videos like this, but seeing as I am like 1/4 of a Sonic VTuber, I do what I can. Until next time, Pebbles out!